What's up, traders? Going 6 for 6 today on my first day back after the week-long vacation. Vegas, Grand Canyon, Hoover Dam, Yosemite, Death Valley, and then Lake Tahoe. 6 different places all in the span of 7 days. It was insane. It was a lot of fun. Got to see my best friend get married. But we're back, and was not expecting much. I was paying attention to the markets a little bit while on vacation. Brought my laptop just in case I wanted to think about trading. Never even thought about it, to be honest, once we were out and about. But yeah, first day back, wasn't expecting too much. Was looking to maybe get my feet wet if we found something, and the bell rang and it went crazy. I was pretty excited to kind of jump back in. It felt like riding a bike, just right back into it. And here was BZ, our first trade. Right at the bell, previous high from last Friday. And yeah, nice little extension. Got short. I believe I started this before 25 because it felt like I think it tried to get through 25 and failed a couple times. And then I actually hit this on the way back down. You can watch all these trades live over on Twitch. I'm actually going to start marking those again. I kind of got lazy with that for a bit, but we're going to start getting back on track with that. And yeah, came back down, retested the $0.50. As you can see, this thing absolutely pummeled all the way back down to that high from Friday. So a little sad that we didn't get a little bit more than that, but was pretty happy with that being our first trade back. Second trade was Roblox, RBLX. Let's see if we scroll out. You can see the highs from pre-market here, already above Friday's highs. Get a nice little pop here at the bell and get short when we feel the top. And cover into the pullback. Another decent trade. Pretty standard stuff that you see from me all the time when we're actually getting these moves. And yeah, I was pretty happy with that one. NIO. This was our first trade that we weren't too confident about. As you can see, the high I had marked here earlier when I was actually trading it. And we get a nice little pop-up through, but it wasn't that fast. It felt a little grindy. It was kind of struggling to get up through the $0.50. But when it did get up through the $0.50, you can see it only got the 64. I usually like seeing these up around that, like in the 70s and 80s on the $0.50 pops. Didn't quite get it, but it was pretty obviously like hitting a wall right there at that 63, 64. So we get short at 62 the minute we saw that downtick and got a pretty good fill, pretty close to the top. Started to come down. It felt like it wanted to it went through 50 and then it started to kind of jiggle like it wanted to maybe go a little bit higher. Wasn't really looking to let this. I was too close to the $0.50. If we were up in the 70s and 80s, maybe give it a couple chances to go up through 50 and try to come back down. But it did it 2 or 3 times, and I wasn't about to let this thing go all the way back up to our average, so took it off, and a decent little trade. We actually took a smaller size on this one as well because I wanted to leave room just in case it did decide to continue. The next trade was my favorite trade of the day. Wasn't the one we made the most on. It was pretty close, but MGNI. We didn't get the fill that we thought we got, but man, I pulled this up right off the scanner, and then it was like down here at 1050. I had said I had it up, and then all of a sudden this thing just rocket shipped right to 1111. However, when it was up through 11, I hit the button. Like when it was up through 11, it was an amazing move. I think it hit the halt price. I don't know if that was the halt price. I'd have to go back and watch the video, but I know I hit it when it was 11, but then it lagged. It didn't fill us right away. It actually took like a second. And in that second, it shot back down, and we ended up getting filled down here at 1083, which isn't horrible, but when you think you're getting filled up at 11 and you get filled at 83, even on 100 shares right there, that's $17 if you got filled at 11. But it is what it is. The thing came straight back down. I almost covered it immediately, but I noticed the spread was kind of bad. So the bid came down to 1050, but the ask was still up around like 1070. So getting filled up here at 1083, that wasn't exactly what I was looking for. So I gave it a second. It did try to come back up to 1080 a little bit. I think it was like 1075, something like that. And then it did come back down. We ended up taking half because I realized how fast this happened. I was kind of expecting maybe to get like the full flush all the way back down to 10. So I tried to hold half of it, looking for that to happen. Did try to go a little bit lower. Couldn't. I think the spread was still just as bad. Started to come back up, and we took it off before it decided to maybe try to go up through the $0.50 again. As you can see, it did go back down, trying to go lower. But ultimately, I believe this thing tried high of day again. Yeah, so it did curl all the way back up towards the highs. Didn't quite get that breakdown like we thought we might get. The next trade was on CRWD, crowd. This was another small. Our last two are pretty small. Things are slowing down. This one was a little bit higher priced, up through the pre-market highs. Pretty decent one. The volume was not great on this one, but it was pretty hard to deny that this made a nice little pop. I was watching it, and I watched this whole candle here, and then this moved much faster. You can see the candle's even bigger, but the way that it kind of moved up, it was pretty fast. So basically just waited for it to stop, jumped in. It did try to go a little bit higher, ultimately gave us the pullback that we were looking for and took it off. But as you can see, we didn't make too much on that one because it was just, higher priced. The volume wasn't great. There was reasons to take smaller size just to be safe. And then FUTU. A lot of guys made some decent money on FUTU today. They traded a couple times. I don't know. This was the only setup I saw, and I kind of messed the trade up. It made this move from here up through, and it went through 51 and just it was really struggling at 51.30. I really wanted more out of it because as you can see where I got in, it really wasn't like a big extension. It wasn't even bigger than this candle here. And I was a little disappointed that I didn't wait because when I hit this at 51.31, now when it went through 51.50, which is where I should have been starting it, I can't add there because now it's too close on something that we know can run if it really, gets up and going. So I told myself I had to wait through 52 to get my add. As you can see, it never went through 52. It came back down. It started the jiggle right at our average. It did go below our average just barely, and then it tried to go back up again, so we took it off. And as you can see, this did go a little bit lower here. Ended up getting back down to previous resistance. Would have been a nice trade had we held all our full share size up to that point, but we all know that wouldn't have happened. Most likely would have got out on the break of this candle, which wouldn't have been that much of a better fill. So just kind of sucks because we were too early to get an add, but we were too it was just, that was the problem with it. We were just too early because we couldn't add because it would have been too close together, and it didn't get through 52 to give us the add. I was gonna say, but we were too late. But we weren't too late to anything. We just I wish we were a little bit later because then we would have got a better fill. But that's it. That's all we got. Pretty good day, up $123. Can't complain about that at all. First day back to go over goal. I'm gonna be pretty happy with it. Had an amazing trip. If you have any questions about it, feel free to ask. I did post on Facebook all of the pictures and stuff, but I guess you guys can't see those, so maybe I'll pick and choose some to show on Twitter. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow at some point. Come check me out live over on Twitch. And if you can't check me out live over on Twitch, I am going to start I'm going to probably do a video every day this week, but I think next week I'm going to try like an end of week recap instead of an everyday recap. I'm going to see how that works out. I kind of like the idea of it. Just kind of do it all at once. We can have like a nice drawn out video. Maybe I will even start doing the Friday night lives again, and we can do the recaps that way. I actually thought about that. I really like the idea. I just don't know if it's going to be feasible, but we'll see. I kind of like it. Maybe we'll do it. We'll see. Maybe we'll test run it next week. I don't know. I did like those. We are starting to build a little bit more of an audience, so that could help if I can start, posting more videos on YouTube. We can keep attracting more people, and we can actually start to form that community that I know that we can form. I mean, we already have a solid base with everybody in the Discord. We don't need to build anything bigger, but it's naturally most likely as the numbers grow, going to grow because people like to see the bigger numbers, et cetera. So that's all I got. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Always appreciate the support. Again, if you do have any questions or comments about trading, the vacation, anything, feel free to leave those down below. You can find me over on Twitter, find me in the Discord, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.